Welcome back. We'll continue where we had stopped. So I'm going to open the IDE. So in the previous lesson, this is what we had done. So just out of interest, let us just see if we could change a few properties and see how they are going to the GUI is going to look like. But before we do that, let's just write so you can see this is what we did in the last class. So let us just change a few things. Let us change that one to yellow. Let us change that one to 5. Let us change that one to sunken. So these are properties that one can look up on the documentation and see how. So you can see we've changed the background color to yellow. This is now sunken, and then we've increased the border size to 5. So there are several properties that you can play with and change and see if they are acceptable to the desired aesthetics, and then you can leave it at that. So I'm just going to reverse those changes and then we can proceed. So now in the next lesson we are going to create another frame, and this frame is going to contain two label frames inside. One will contain radio buttons, the other one will contain check boxes. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to copy that one, and I'm calling that one second container. Okay, so that is the second. This is the second. And everything else will remain the same, except now the location. The previous one was on row number 1, row number 0. This one now goes to row number 2. Now within this container, I'm going to place two label frames. So we'll see the difference between just an ordinary frame and a label frame. So I'm going to create, let's do this. The first label frame, so this one I'll say radio button label frame. Alright, so the first one we're going to call it let's call it radio just to be consistent with our naming. So you can see others I'm doing a full cameo method kind of naming. The other ones I'm using underscores. But as we develop, you'll see the consistency that we have with that naming convention. So this radio button label is actually a label frame. So you can see, just pick it from there. Label frame. Where is it sitting? It is sitting in the second container. All right, it is sitting in the second container. What location? So within the first container, I'm going to put it on 0 and 0. But then the label frame has got a property called text. Okay, now the text for the first one, let's say this is what is going to be type of course. Okay, type of course. Yeah, so I'm just going to use that one, copy it, and create. Now this one is for check boxes. Check boxes. This will be for check. In Tkinter, in other applications, it's called check boxes, but Tkinter calls it check buttons. So boxes. Okay, so I'm going to say check. I'll keep that. Okay, let us copy that one. All right. So the only difference is going to be the placement. So this is on rows 0, column 0. They are going to be on the same row, except this one is going to be on column 1. Once we've added some objects in here, then we'll be able to appreciate how they're looking like. So we're going to start with the radio button. So to do a radio button, Tkinter just uses radio button, okay. Where is this radio button going to be placed? It is going to be placed in that container, okay. It's being placed there, and then it's got the following properties. It's got text, it's got a variable, and it's got value. Okay, so those are the only properties that we are going to set. Okay, so the first one is going to, the text is going to be, we want to say this can do video and voice calls. Okay, so that will be the same as the value. Okay, and then for the variable is something that we are going to read and store. So this, we are going to call it core mode. That is the name of the variable. I know it will give us an error because we haven't declared the variable yet, but let's just quickly copy and paste this. So it's that and that. The next one, we are going to say video calls only. Then the last one will be voice calls. Excuse me. All right, let's just copy, because any slight mismatch in these, so that's why I prefer to do copy and paste, so that there's no mistake of a mismatch. So I know that if we run it, it's going to give us an error because we haven't defined this variable yet. So for now, what we are going to do is we're going to say this, we declare it as a string var. So Tkinter has a way of setting so that is a string, and then if you wanted to do a variable, so sorry, an integer, it is a int var, but we're just doing that string. And then so the goodness with radio buttons and a lot of other things, there are several ways in which we can place them. So we've declared all of them, but now we need to place them. So to place them, we can do it on the same line. All you do is just say grid, and then you open your bracket there. Where do we want them placed? So we want it placed on within this radio button frame. We want it on row 0 and column 0. Okay, what other property are we setting? For now, let us okay, there's another property that I want to introduce immediately. It's sticky. Sticky equals W. So in other words, we want it to be left aligned west. Otherwise, right aligned, it will be E. Okay, so let us just copy that. We place it there, and we place it there. So if we run now our app, you can see it's been created, but it's looking funny, and it's been it hasn't been placed correctly. So we'll see why it hasn't been placed correctly, and then we'll be able to rectify that. So the issue here was that this one is everything, we place them on the same place. So this will be in row number 1, this will be in row number 2. Okay, so if we run it, you can see now it's created that. The other thing that we are going to do is that in the parent frame, we are going to copy it and we are going to create, we are going to assign it to the left, so that if we run it now, okay, what's the issue? We needed to, we've got, all right, there was an issue there with that copy. Okay, so if we run it now, okay, it's still placed there, but we are going to resolve that one quickly. So what we need to do, this, okay, as a matter of fact, this is actually supposed to be on the parent. So we'll remove one of them and you'll see what I'm talking about. So if we run it now, you see it's actually properly aligned. So we didn't need this left alignment here, but we can as well leave it there. There's no harm. So you can see that is how it's looking. Okay, we're just going to change a few things so that it can look much better, and then all right, so that one has been set, that one has been set. Let us see, what else do we need to as a matter of fact, in the label frame we don't need this. We've already set it at that parent level. So all right, so you can see that the blue is just in the parent frame, and not this label frame. So you can see that this frame has got a title associated with it. It's just etched on the boundary there. Okay, whereas this frame, the top frame, hasn't got a label associated with it. Okay, so quickly let us do now the radio buttons. So we've done that, so we need to place in our radio buttons. So to do this, we need to check, we need to do we are going to add 3 checkboxes. Now the first checkbox is so the first thing that we do is we are going to say, all right, app business. Okay, before, so this all right, so that was for, so this is the, we need just to rename this one. So this is going to be business use. Okay, so we're going now to declare our variables and assign them to business use equals, just like we did here, but here the declaration is a bit different. It is going to look like this. So now we are going to assign it to a checkbox. Check button. So different widgets have got different ways in which they are declared. So where is this sitting? This is going to sit in here. Okay, and what properties has it got? It's also got a text variable, a text property. So this one we are going to say, all right, this is business to consumer. If you remember from that, business to consumer. Okay, what other property? The other property is the variable property. So now what we're going to do, we are going to create a variable, and that is so variable. So the name is here I'm going to use camel method to consumer. All right, but before we can use it this way. We also need to place it. Okay, so sorry about that. We need so this is equal sign, and then from there we are going to place it. So we get that, we copy it, and we say, all right, where is this going to but as a matter of fact, let's just change so that one, let us change it to let's check button, just to be more descriptive. So we okay, that one. Okay, where am I placing it? I'm saying grid, and then I'm going to declare the places where I'm going to. So I'm going to add it. So let us just copy that. Okay, I'm going to, within this frame, I'm also going to add it on so within this frame, I'm going to put it on row 0 and column 0. Okay, so now if I run it, it's going to give me an error because I didn't declare that variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that variable and declare it before using it. And what type of variable it is. Now check patterns use they use integers, so I'm going to set that one as an int var. Alright, so now if I run this, where is my error? Okay, so I've got an error there, so this is supposed to be ended there. So if we run it, so we've got our the frame is not looking too good, but we are going to adjust it, and then it should look nice. All right, but before that, so I can already see that there's an issue with the spacing around these objects. So I need to do padding. So I need to put places around these objects. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put. Should I put it on? I'm just going to pad it. Let's see, between these containers. So I'm going to that container, I'm going to pad it, and this container I'm going to pad it, so that there's a boundary in between them. So quickly we are going to copy this, and then so that is business to consumer. So this one is business to business. This one is business to government. According to that GUI that we already explored, business to business, B2B, business to government, B2G. So let us just it doesn't matter, but let's just make it consistent like that. So if we run it, all right, the reason why they are not appearing is because we've placed them on the same all of them have been placed on the same location. So this is on 0 0. The next one we just increase that one 0 1, and then this will be 2 2. So if we run it that way, then it is but you can see that it is not well aligned. So quickly what we are going to do is we are going to add this so that they are left aligned, left aligned. So if we run it, all right, so you can see the only thing that we need to change is that color is not looking all right. So this, we removed them, we removed the color on the, so the color is not on the label frame, but it is on the parent frame. So if we run it now, you can see it is looking consistent. So far we're making progress, and we'll continue from here.